Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls. It is I, Martso, and yeah, I am here for the two people that left a long comment chain on one of my more recent videos. A Duckstation guide. Well, how to set up Duckstation. So, first of all, you open your browser, you go to this. I'll put the link in the description. Sorry, I can't speak. And that's duckstation.org. Depending on your platform, you go ahead and select whichever option. For me, it is Windows. If yeah, you need a C++ runtime environment, like a Java runtime environment, but it's for C++, so you gotta go ahead and download that. Same with Duckstation, which it looks like a standalone program, so you just gotta, once you download these bad boys, you open this, and it's fairly straightforward. You agree to licensing, you click install. Since I already have it, it's just gonna reinstall. Doesn't really matter. Once you do that, you go ahead to your download folder. You can click open on the Duckstation thing. I have it already extracted since it's a standalone program. I have it over here. So yeah, once you download Duckstation, you can just click on the executable. It'll bring up the current version that you've downloaded. Right, so now for setting it up, we go into general. I'm pretty sure a lot of everything that is by default, it works perfectly and it's going to be like this. I'm not going to go too in depth. You can just pause the video and see what I have set up. Game list, just like this, default. Same for BIOS, apart from me using a PAL BIOS. Well, you're gonna have to look for that one yourself. Right, for the console, I have the region on auto detect. I have enabled 8 megabytes of RAM, which is important. Same goes for enabling clock speed control and increasing the clock speed of the CPU if you want a more modern experience. So that's important. Everything is default. You keep this as is. Yeah, we can go into display. You can, depending on what you have, you select it. I currently have my external graphics card. Well, my external graphics card. The hardware renderer, I'm using Vulkan because that's how that works for me. Not sure what's gonna work for you, so you go ahead and try that out yourself. Enhancements is probably the main thing, depending on your system capabilities and emulation. You go into this. You can set it on. You can set on the automatic based on window size. So for internal resolution, it's not gonna look that good. If your window is gonna be very small, then the resolution is gonna be shit. If you stretch it out, it's gonna be better. So I suggest keeping it on 5x depending on, again, your system. So it's gonna be 1080p. It looks pretty good. I'm using it. Just keep everything else the same. Audio, you can change the audio of the games that you're playing in here in the emulator. So you can do that. I have it on 16% for output volume. Fast forward volume is 0%. I suggest you put it down to 0 as well, unless you want to listen to glitch. Output volume, I've put it down to 16 because it does end up being very, very loud. There's retro achievements. You need to create an account for that. You can log in. Then it's all preference folders. Same goes for the advanced. Yeah. So now let's go into your controllers, the controller section. Currently, I do have a. Well, let's go into global. I'm pretty sure this is not enabled by default, the DualShock 4 DualSense Enhanced mode. So if you're using a PS4 controller, make sure that is enabled. Same goes for the XL input as for the Xbox controllers. Yeah, this is where you select your controller type. You can add more controllers, I'm not sure how much, but by default there are 2 controller ports. If you're not using a controller, you can just leave it in not connected so it wouldn't interfere. Bindings. Right now I currently have the Nedgecon selected, and I have bound my PS4 controller like this. And this is specifically for Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo 2, so I suggest you copy this, and I'll show you the in-game settings so that this would work. Right now you can select analog controller, an analog joystick, which doesn't have the rumble motors. You can select the digital controller, you can select a GunCon, a PlayStation mouse for games that use that. You can change these on the fly while in game, and the game will recognize these controllers as what it is, so make sure you bind at least a couple. If you are going to lack inputs, well, if you find yourself lacking inputs, because if you are playing, let's say, Gran Turismo or something, and you need to, I don't know, maybe pause or whatever. So the Netchcon has rather limited inputs for buttons. So if you need, yeah, as I've said, whatever, any sort of random button or combination, that's especially prevalent for fighting games. So go ahead and switch to your analog controller, digital controller, or joystick, or whatever. And the game will recognize it as if you had just plugged out your Netchcon from the PlayStation 1 and plugged in one of these. So it'll just be the same. I will show you how the game reacts. Right now my controller is set to analog controller, and I will switch it to the Netchcon. And as you can see, the game quickly recognizes it. I suggest you change your Netchcon bindings to what I currently have in game, as if you are going to bind the same keys on your Netchcon if you're gonna play this game, so that it would make sense. But the main thing is the acceleration and the braking buttons. Make sure that acceleration is in the Roman numeral 1 and brake is no Roman numeral 2. And everything else is by preference. It is basically the best button configuration for the best Gran Turismo 2 experience you can have. I'm pretty sure there is an ability to bind a modern racing wheel so that it would work with Gran Turismo 2 on Duckstation, and I saw a video. I haven't not tried it. I will link it down in the description. That's really pretty much it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this helps out. I'm pretty sure there are much better guides on how to set up everything on the internet, but as always, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you do have a very, very nice day.